Good morning all, my name is Riley, and this next 20 slides will be a reflective synopsis about my experiences, learning and core applications I believe digital pedagogy and e-learning has provided me throughout my engagement in the CQU unit, Digital Learning and Teaching. I have engaged as a learner in multiple online interactions with others in the form of blog posting, providing and responding to feedback, and through this learning process I have discovered some key pedagogical principles important in the selection and use of ICTs for learning. Take the time, if you will, and delve into my blog posts and experience my learning process over the last 5 weeks. Technology is an emerging process where its development and practical applications are largely still unrealised. It isn't just about consuming it, but creating it as well. I dare say I would have my parents in the absolute dust when it comes to an iPhone, emails, or even just turning on a computer. As a pre-service teacher about to commence my PTT in Term 2, I had an inflated view of my own knowledge. I've now come to the actualisation that is quite the opposite. Students using ICTs gain capacities of information processing, authentic communication, and build on learning independence, or learn autonomy. As a builder of their very own learning process, applications depend on me, the teacher. Pedagogy before technology, and in short, if I suck and don't engage with technology, it isn't me who misses out, it is my students. The role of these ICTs lets students arrange, evaluate, and decide on information that comes to them. This isn't to say that they are always the receiver of information, because challenging students with great pedagogy and differentiating technologies in different types, formats, softwares will give hugely variety in which they hopefully become the creators and not just the receivers of information. And doing this promotes deeper knowledge, learning, and higher order thinking, in turn aligning with what students need to survive in the 21st century. Communities, education, and the workforce are forever evolving. Right now, it is recognised by the Queensland Assessment Authority that students need these type of skills to survive in the 21st century. I personally explored web spaces including websites, blogs, and wikis, digital media like Infogram, and presentation software like PowerPoint and PowerToon, all found on my blog. To understand how pedagogy and technology can affect students' thinking processes, it is critical to look at Bloom's taxonomy, cognitive taxonomy, and the SEMAR model. They are used to integrate technology more purposefully. When implicating digital pedagogy, it can be implicated at lower orders of thinking by substitution and augmentation, and I provide examples of this relating to physical education on my web spaces and digital media blog posts. But to transform learning and really investigate the potential, technology must build upon students' higher order thinking. We need to look at the modification and redefinition level. To achieve those higher order thinking of Bloom's taxonomy and provide the principles of high-end pedagogy, including being learner-centered, open-ended, and learner autonomy, creation, and going beyond the boundaries of the classroom, I've learnt to use programs, software, and technologies that are within the modification and redefinition hierarchy of the SEMAR model. Essentially, students become their own educators under the guidance of a teacher. Cross-boundary collaboration and negotiation with nominated audiences, including locally, nationally, or even globally. Technology really does provide a range of resources and multiple avenues of intuitive engagement, eliminating barriers to participation found in traditional face-to-face classrooms. In each of my weekly reflections, I have also considered the legalities, safety, and ethical standings of ICTs in the classroom. The meaningful use of these technologies have massive and valuable educational benefits, although we as teachers need to model as well as equip our students with the tools to ensure legal, safe, and ethical behaviours when using these ICTs. It is explicitly identified in the Australian Professional Standards for Teachers, Focus Area 4.5, and involves students developing an understanding of intellectual property, digital information security, including the responsibilities to protect that information, preventing cyberbullying, ensuring online security, respecting audiences, and being aware of portrayal of themselves and others. Copyright laws and digital information security knowledge is essential for every subject area. I specifically highlight this for PE within my blog post, and as teachers, it is our responsibility to ensure consequences of breaching copyright, plagiarism, referencing, and research of information, pictures, and videos is explicitly taught to our students. Technology and software I explored demonstrated how vast, unique, and creative each platform can be. Students who have developed a strong sense of legal, safety, and ethical understandings will be able to interface with these technologies in a more valuable and meaningful and educational way. We have a duty as teachers to protect and educate our students about being responsible, safe and ethical. The most critical outcome of technology is collaboration. I have had the opportunity to engage and participate in the contribution to our online professional learning community or peer educators blogs. This feedback process has allowed me to get involved in numerous like-minded educators' blog posts and technological experiences. Through this online environment or CQU wiki, the learning becomes a shared process. I've explored loads of blogs and personally engaged in Ricky Lee's Week 4 reflection, where I commented subsequent future uses, ideas for classroom, and even provided feedback on the digital media she created with Padlet. I also couldn't help myself to comment on Rob Bell's Week 1 reflection on web spaces, due to how inspiring and engaging his designed blog looked. It hasn't been a one-way affair, as I've received personally a lot of comments on my blog. Rob's feedback in particular on my blog was eye-opening, as it inspired a complete overhaul of my blog structure, look and design, and inspired exploration of other people's blog. This collaborative feedback technology offers improved my own writing perspective and knowledge, and gave me progression in professional learning. Knowing how effective this feedback was for me, I can see how this collaborative feedback system would be ideal within one of my Year 7 science classrooms. It would allow students to peer assess what would allow them to improve on their own evaluative and reflective processes, while gaining important and relevant identified learning gaps from their peers to improve their own work. Overall, the collaborative interactions I personally experienced with technology has allowed me to gain deeper insight into the value and relevance these tools have within all of my subject classrooms. The creating, evaluating, analysing and application experience with digital pedagogy supports student higher order thinking and will be an absolute asset I will apply with my planning. Knowing just how far I have come in 5 weeks for my own digital pedagogy is incredible. With creativity and a growth mindset, I strive to apply more ICTs to better improve my own pedagogy, and subsequently I'll be improving the educational outcomes of my students, putting them in a greater position to succeed in the 21st century.